hammer. What's it all about? Let's reach out to the butcher and get one. Rain, sleet, snow, or shine, right? One Thor's hammer for delivery. So you say you're looking for a shank, huh? This is what my butcher sent me. And being the expert present guesser that I am, pretty sure it's glass. This is a hell of a lot more than a Thor's hammer. More like Thor's baseball bat. Alright, I know there's at least one person out there saying, what the hell is a Thor's hammer? Well, here's a picture real quick. It's a beef shank, which is what we have, but we have the full beef shank. We don't have that little bit on the top cut off, we have the big mamba jamba. And like they say, in barbecue and everything else in life, more bigger, more better. We're gonna coat this bad boy with hot sauce, a little binder so that everything sticks together nicely, and a coat of your favorite beef rub. Like if someone said their tofu burger was better than your regular burger, this is the rub you grab. Get you a tray when you're seasoning barbecue. You're gonna save a bunch on mess, and you're gonna save some of that rub. It's not gonna go all over the place. You can roll your meat around in it. I just love rolling my meat around in a good rub. We're gonna put this thing in the fridge. It's gonna rest overnight. I really know how to pick them. Great day to be outside cooking barbecue. Now this wasn't my intention fully. We had some snows coming kind of early, I put off the cook for a day. Then we had 10 inches of snow, which is very unseasonable for this part of Tennessee. So now we're doing it in negative degrees. Popping in that meter wireless probe, that's gonna help us measure the temperature inside the pit and inside the meat so we can hit everything accurately. I like to run my pit about 275 degrees. For me, that's the optimal temperature. With something so heavy and connective tissue like this beef shank, you need that high heat. All right, we're about 2 hours into the cook. We're gonna start spritzing with some beer here. We're gonna do it old school though, because I broke my spray gun on the last cook and didn't get a new one. So yeah, let's do it. At about 4 hours in now, we're hitting the stall. About 165 degrees internal. For those of you not familiar, the stall is where the meat starts to sweat. It starts to push out some moisture. What that does is it cools the meat down as it's cooking. So it just makes it to where it stalls out in the cook. What we do with this is we wrap it. Now something like a beef shank, a lot of connective tissue, we wanna wrap it up tight with foil. A lot of times butcher paper is used with briskets or pork butts, but today foil because we're trying to get it to braise inside of that liquid there, which for liquid, we are using another Yeehaw beer, nice dark lager, really amps up the flavor of beef, goes amazing with it. Make sure your fire is staying up at 275. After another hour or two on, 6 hours total, this beef is up to temperature. About 203 degrees internal and probe tender. She's ready to rest, and she needs to rest for about an hour. Now we need a little side piece to go with our meat stick. While it's resting, mac and cheese with a special ingredient. This is no ordinary mac and cheese. No mac and cheese for the faint of heart. We're gonna double the flavor, double the fun, and of course, double the heat. Handful of garlic, half of a large shallot, 2 whole jalapenos that have been de-seeded into our little food processor. Give it a few twirls until it is nice and smooth. Now we don't want it to be a paste, but we want it to be pretty fine because we're gonna add it to our sauce. In a large, deep pan, this is what we're gonna build our sauce in. Make sure it's plenty big. We're gonna put that whole mess in there with a little bit of oil and let it saute, cook out some of the rawness. 3 tablespoons of butter and 3 tablespoons of flour. That's gonna build our roux. It's the base of our sauce. It's the thickening agent. This is the base of a lot of sauces. It's a good thing to know about. Now, because we did 3 tablespoons of each of those, we're going to add 3 cups of milk. We're gonna add it in slowly, a few additions at a time, and we're going to whisk the entire time we are doing that to prevent any clumps, any big buildups. We want this to be nice and smooth. As that simmers down and cooks for a bit, we're gonna add some salt to a pot of water and bring that to a boil so we can get our pasta going later. We're gonna shred up all of our cheeses. For this one, I like to use Fontina, Gruyere, and a sharp white cheddar. These three cheeses together provide a great balance between flavor and like stretchy fullness that you really want when you're making something like mac and cheese. I'm using about 4 to 6 ounces of each one. I'm blending up a lot more here so I can make some grilled cheese sandwiches later. But in this recipe here, about 6 ounces of each one, or about 3/4 of each of these, is all you're gonna need. Once that bechamel, that milk and roux mixture, has thickened up, we're gonna add our cheese in there. Again, just a few slow additions, mixing it together on very low heat here. That way it combines well. You don't wanna break the sauce. You just let it slowly come together. Get that pasta going in the background. It's gonna take about 11 minutes with this one, or use whatever pasta is your favorite for mac and cheese. Little seasoning just right there at the end, salt, pepper, garlic, nothing too crazy. Get our pasta mixed in together, make sure it's all nice and smooth. During this, make sure you preheat your oven to about 350 degrees. We're gonna bake this pasta after putting it together here on the stove. Little topping of Parmesan before we pop her in. Now, this is gonna cook for about 20 minutes until it just starts to bubble. While it's doing that, we're gonna get our topping together. Hot Cheetos, flamin' hot Cheetos. You know, just the best ones they make out there. Get out your meat mallet and go ahead and smash those up in a bag. That's all you gotta do. Now that it's out of the oven, we're gonna do another little topping of cheese. Like I said before, we had some extra cheese left over. Another layer of cheese, and then a big old layer of those hot Cheetos. Back in the oven just for about 10 minutes so everything can warm up, get to know each other, that top cheese can melt. And this thing's ready to serve, y'all. I think this whole meal is about ready. Let's check her out. Y'all, this is stupid.